The flames flickered and grew brighter. Suddenly, the fire rose high, and a vision appeared within it. Everyone watched in awe as the image of a baby floating in a basket down the river appeared in the flames. The basket tipped over, and the baby was carried by the current until it reached the shore. There, an old woman picked up the baby and carried it away. The vision shifted to show the bracelet being placed on the baby's wrist. Then the image faded, and the fire returned to normal. The priestess turned to Chief Chijioke with a gentle smile. The spirits have spoken. This boy is your son. Chief Chijioke's eyes filled with tears as he pulled Emeka into a tight embrace. My son, he whispered. After all these years, you have returned to me. Emeka's eyes welled up with tears too. I have a father, he asked softly. Yes, Chief Chijioke said, smiling through his tears. You are my heir, my son. You are home now. The elders cheered, and even Mama smiled. But just as they began to celebrate, a loud noise came from outside the shrine. The scarred man and his group had returned, and this time, they had brought more men. We told you this wasn't over, the man shouted. The villagers who had accompanied the chief quickly formed a protective circle around him and Emeka. The chief held his son tightly. Stay behind me, he said. Mama raised her hand. Enough, she commanded, her voice firm and powerful. You dare bring violence to the sacred shrine. The scarred man hesitated but then sneered. We don't care about your shrine. That boy belongs to us. Mama stepped forward, her eyes blazing with authority. The spirits have already spoken. This boy is the chief's son, the lost heir of Umon. If you dare challenge the spirits, you will face their wrath. Suddenly, the air around the shrine grew cold, and a powerful wind began to swirl. The scarred man and his group looked around nervously as the carvings on the walls seemed to come alive. A deep, echoing voice filled the air. Leave this place, or face the judgment of the ancestors. Terrified, the scarred man and his men fled into the forest, never to be seen again. The villagers cheered, and Chief Chijioke hugged Emeka tightly once more. You are safe now, my son, he said. And you are home. Days after the dramatic events at the shrine, life in Umon began to return to normal. Emeka, now recognized as Chief Chijioke's long-lost son, was welcomed warmly into the chief's household. The village held a celebration in his honor, with music, dancing, and plenty of delicious food. But while the villagers were happy for the chief, Emeka was still adjusting to his new life. He loved his new home but struggled to believe he truly belonged. What if I don't know how to be a chief's son? He asked one evening as he sat with Chief Chijioke by the fire. The chief smiled and placed a hand on his son's shoulder. Emeka, being my son doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means being kind, strong, and true to yourself. You've already shown all of these qualities. That's why the spirits brought you back to me. Emeka felt a little more at ease, but deep inside, he knew he had much to learn. One day, while walking through the village, Emeka noticed Ada and Namdi arguing with some other children. He hurried over to see what was going on. What's happening? Emeka asked. These boys are trying to take the mangoes we collected. Ada said angrily, pointing to a basket of ripe mangoes. We didn't steal anything, one of the boys protested. The tree belongs to everyone. Emeka thought for a moment. Maybe the tree does belong to everyone, but Ada and Namdi worked hard to gather these mangoes. It's not fair to take them without asking. The boys looked ashamed. We are sorry, one of them mumbled. We just wanted some fruit to eat. Emeka smiled. How about this? Ada and Namdi can share some of the mangoes with you, and next time, you can all work together to gather more fruit. That way, everyone wins. Ada and Namdi agreed, and the boys apologized again. The group sat under the mango tree, sharing the fruit and laughing together. Chief Chidiok, who had been watching from a distance, felt proud of his son. "You are already showing the wisdom of a leader," he said later that evening. "A good leader brings people together and finds solutions that are fair to everyone." As weeks passed, Emeka began to grow more confident in his new role. He spent time learning from the chief and helping the villagers with their tasks. He also formed a close bond with Mama Ifeoma, who taught him how to cook, and with Namdi and Ada, who became his closest friends. One day, while helping an elder repair a roof, Emeka asked, "Why do you think the scarred man wanted to take me?" The elder paused and said, "Some people see others as tools for their own gain. Perhaps they thought they could use you for something. But remember, Emeka, your strength lies in the love and support of your family and your village. As long as you stand with them, no one can harm you." Emeka nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for his new life. ###The Grand Festival. Months later, the village prepared for its annual Grand Festival. This year, the chief announced that Emeka would light the ceremonial lantern, symbolizing the future of Imon. The villagers gathered in the square, excited to see the chief's heir take on his first official role. As Emeka lit the lantern, its warm glow illuminated the faces of the cheering crowd. Chief Chidiok stood beside him, his eyes shining with pride. That night, as the lantern floated into the sky, Emeka felt a sense of belonging he had never felt before. He was no longer just a boy wandering from village to village. He was Emeka, son of Chief Chidiok, and the story of Emeka and Chief Chidiok became a tale that the people of Umon would tell for generations, reminding everyone of the power of love, kindness, and hope. Leader of Umon.